Yeah, none of this is broadcasting. That was entirely my mistake.
It's all right.
Yeah, my face is gone. Do you know what? Let's just look now. Right, just gonna go straight off to that one because the solo camera me doesn't appear to be working. Hi everyone. I just did an entire monologue to absolutely no one because I forgot to hit the actual transition button, which is ironic for me. So hello everyone, welcome to Blizzard Comedy Profiles. This is a show where we are chatting to some of our favourite up-and-coming comedians from around the country, and today we are joined by the magnificent Benny Shakes, who you may have seen on our last stream show. So Benny, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fun. How are you?
You're good, yeah, I'm doing good. I wrestling with technology unsuccessfully, so this is oh no, is it gone again? Well, I think you can hear us. You might not be able to see us, but I'll sort out. Yeah, let me just sort out the videos. That should be working, but I keep accidentally minimizing Zoom, so that fucks with it. This is why we usually have someone else doing the hard bit.
Yes. I wasn't going to mention that, but
Yeah, exactly.
I
Right, where the fuck are you? People can still hear us. So I'm getting, if you're in a chat, let us know because I'm getting signal on OBS that volume is going through. So I'm assuming you can hear us. Okay, right. We want the Zoom guys. Right. Sorry. Right. Okay. Well, we sound lovely. Okay, the sound is coming through. That's good. Hi, Riley. Right. Let's just. Do you know what? I'm just gonna fucking re-import it manually. So just you're gonna have a bit of behind the scenes going on now. Okay. Window capture. Okay. Oh, what is going on with you? Yeah, I don't know what's happening now. Okay, yeah, well, this is okay. That's not helpful. You don't want to see that. That is a blank screen.
maybe it's because disabilities catching.
Maybe it is. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. All these fucking invisible disabilities now.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
That's fine.
Bear with me. We'll get this sorted. Right, hang on. I'm going to put it back onto another screen temporarily. Okay, we're back. Faces are
Yay.
here. Wonderful. Okay, so yeah, we sound wonderful. We look good as well. Just Twitch apparently couldn't handle any of that. So okay, what a great start. So yeah, hi Penny. How you doing? Hope you're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. I've been at work today, so yeah,
Oh yeah,
good.
yeah, that's cool.
Good.
What is it you do for work outside of telling jokes about yourself?
I work on a farm 1 day a week, um, planting trees.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, yeah, that is. I mean,
Uh,
especially important now. Obviously, I don't know about if that specific area of farming is one of the ones in trouble, but I've heard the last few months have been pretty bad for agriculture industry all around. So
yes,
that's a
it
great thing.
is.
But that's not what we're here to talk about. This isn't.
No,
I mean,
no.
maybe it is. If you want to hear more about farm, we can kind of, move on to that later. But yeah, so let's start with okay. So yeah, fairly open-ended question. Let's just start from the beginning. So, what are your earliest memories of enjoying comedy? So, not necessarily wanting to perform it yourself, just as like a medium that you enjoy.
Um, I enjoyed watching other disabled people g-
Yeah,
online. So you've got Rosie
yeah.
Jones, Soft Voice Guy,
Oh, he's great. Yeah,
Aaron
yeah.
Simmons. I forgot her name. She's the biscuit girl who's
Oh,
got
I know
two
the one you mean.
legs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can't
yeah.
remember her name. That's really bad.
She's awesome. She
Yeah,
is. So yeah, so that made me realise if they can do it, why can't I?
yeah, absolutely.
So,
I think it's because those are all people who've like fairly recently broken into the mainstream as well.
yeah.
Uh, I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you're a bit older or younger than me, but
I'm 38.
38. So so you are like a little bit older than me, and I guess like in the 2000s and especially 90s, I guess there weren't really many, if any, disabled comedians on. Certainly not on TV, and this was obviously before YouTube. So
No.
I
Oh
can't think of it.
God.
If you can think of any in the chat, let me know. But
No.
mm,
There weren't any in the
no,
90s.
yeah.
I don't think there was. Oh, Tanya Lee
Oh yeah,
Davis.
Tanya Davis as well. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot about
That's the
her.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
what you mean. Yeah, she's great. Yeah, that's really interesting. That so it's fairly recent. So I guess this is kind of evocative of how like how representation matters. The fact that like before like I don't know like 2011 or so, I can't think of any. Certainly not many. I think Adam Hills might have broken through around like the end of the 2000s or something. But apart from
Yeah.
him, I can't think of any other real disabled comedians
There
who certainly didn't get on
isn't
TV.
there is another cerebral palsy bloke, and he's been doing it longer.
Yeah,
In the 90s, I forget his name. He's from out your way,
yeah, I know
I
the one you
think.
mean. I believe I've seen him live at Backyard at one point, but I cannot for the life remember his name. And there's
Yeah,
like Spring Day as well. I think she's cerebral palsy.
yeah,
Who's really good.
Spring
Yeah,
Day, yeah, yeah. So there are quite a few.
yeah, there are
I
quite a
tell
few
you
now.
what,
Yeah,
yeah, there's too many of us now,
too many.
which is a good thing, a good thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
I wonder actually because I find that certainly the experience I get from like a lot of women comedians, especially, and a lot of queer comedians, is bookers don't tend to have lineups where more than one of them is on, so it's very difficult to kind of meet others. I don't know if that's a
yes.
similar experience. Like,
Well, before the pandemic, I was the only cripple on the lineup, but now there's like, oh God, go away. It's my turn.
oh, amazing. Yeah, it is. It's interesting, kind of how that's changed after the pandemic, because like, what was I trying to say? I feel like um I mean, I guess it's partly a symptom of, I guess, Booker's being like, not really having the security of a lot of people that they used to book, because a lot of people are dropping out last minute. But it does seem to be, in some cases, just have a bit of a benefit in that kind of lower sort of notoriety named people do seem to be getting more of those gigs, and it does appear to be, in a lot of cases, less just like able-bodied cis white men. There's definitely still a few clubs that are really bad
Yes.
for doing that,
Yes.
but yeah, it's really interesting. So, when is it you actually started performing yourself? Just to kind of get a background on.
I started in 2019,
Right. Okay.
April.
April. Okay.
So,
That was when we had our first
yeah.
Blizzard show. Amazing. That's really
Ah,
cool.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, the way I got into comedy is quite um, a story.
Yeah. Yeah.
4 years ago, I was like every other disabled person, trying to get a job.
Mm.
So I used to apply for nearly 200 jobs a week.
Oh shit! Fucking hell.
I would get out of that 5 interviews. Um, I look good on paper,
Mm.
but when they see me shaking, it's like, oh, we found someone with more experience. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I gave up and tried to commit suicide.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then that started my journey with volunteering at a charity shop
Yeah.
called Lighthouse Charity Shop, and they've got a farm where we teach children who can't go into mainstream school.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And the farmer there went, "You're funny." And I said, "I know I am. I would love to do comedy." And he went, "Look, there's a bloke called Tommy Wagstar. I always get his surname wrong, but
That's all
anyway,
right.
why don't you go and see him and see if he would mentor you?" And he did.
Oh, that's
And
lovely.
that's how Benny Shakes was born.
Oh, that's amazing. So yeah, I'll quiz a bit more into that kind of spirit mentoring relationship in a little bit. So I just want to like, did you watch a lot of live comedy before that? Had you ever gone to see anything live before, or was it still
No,
just kind of like YouTube and yeah?
I saw Tim Minchin
Oh yeah, yeah.
in 2010.
Oh yeah, was that when
Um,
he was doing his orchestra tour?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I saw that one in London as
amazing.
well. Yeah.
Amazing. He's in Nottingham in November
Oh
doing,
yeah, he's touring at the minute, isn't he? Yeah.
yeah, doing the Nottingham Comedy Festival, and they're only 40 quid a ticket. So
That's
yeah.
actually, I think that's about what we paid in 2010. So that's actually not bad
Oh,
considering how like
yeah,
big he is. And
he's very
yeah,
big.
yeah, he's huge. And this is like his first or second tour since then, I think, because he took a lot of time off performing live, or like certainly touring anyway. He might have done like the odd show. That's really cool. Are you planning on going to that?
If I've got time,
Yeah, if you got the
but
time, yeah,
at the moment I ain't got time in
yeah,
November.
yeah, absolutely.
So,
Okay, so let's talk a bit more about your kind of introduction to actually performing comedy yourself. So yeah, you said you had this guy Tommy, who was kind of mentoring you. How did that start? So like did you have an idea of what kind of comedian you wanted to be, or was that kind of a thing
yeah,
that you? Yeah.
yeah. I went to him and he said, "Okay, write some stories and bring them to me. So I read 10 stories,
Okay.
and we just came up with little jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah.
That's really cool.
So,
10 stories is like one, like your first writing exercise as well. That's pretty intense. As do you like? Are there any nuggets of stuff that you still use now from that, or was it all kind of just
yeah,
yeah? Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
awesome! That's really cool.
I've got four favourite jokes which are always in my set.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't think
Yeah.
of many other comedians who, like, except for maybe like the odd joke, have like most comedians who I've like talked to on this show usually like just want to bury pretty much everything that was in their first set. They're me included. Like I don't have any jokes from like my first few sets that I still use. So that's really I guess maybe having a mentor helps in that way because he can help you polish it. He's got a bit more experience and he can kind of work with you on that so it's authentic as well. Um, so I don't know. Do you mind giving us an example of like one of those jokes that you still
My
use? Yeah.
favourite two jokes
Yep.
are when I cook, it's like walking into a food fight. So a piece of, so a piece of Dragon's Den, a restaurant staffed with people with cerebral palsy. And the tagline is, food's on me.
Okay, that's really good. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So were these stories? Were they like? Was this based on your actual experiences, or was it a bit kind of fabricated, or a bit of
Yeah,
both? Yeah,
all
yeah,
my
yeah,
experiences, I just take the mick out me, but make it where it's funny, then the public might go, oh, I want to learn more about
yeah,
that disability. Do you know what, mate?
yeah, yeah,
Hashtag cerebral palsy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you must get like. I think you because I watched one of the videos you sent me as I was preparing questions for this and like I imagine you do get the kind of from the kind of like non-disabled audiences like probably like at least like a good minute or so of discomfort whether they don't know whether it's okay to laugh at the jokes you're telling or not.
Yeah,
That must be
yeah. It's like, should I really? So I've learned now to bring the audience in on the jokes.
yeah, absolutely. Like
Yeah,
yeah, so they know that they're laughing with you and not at you.
yeah,
And then I guess you
yeah.
can have a bit more fun with that. Like one of the um I can't remember the full joke, but one of the bits that I really liked was when you were talking about your mate who was a triple amputee getting like a really expensive motorized wheelchair for free, and you're
Yeah,
like, I'll give my right arm for that or something.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
fucking
Well,
yeah,
I would give my left
yeah.
leg for one of them as well. So,
Absolutely brilliant, yeah, and you could just tell there were just there was like a lot of quick, loud laughter, and then before they realised, oh shit, is that okay? And that must be such a
yeah,
satisfying laugh to get.
it was funny,
Yeah.
but is it okay? Yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So you had these 10 or so stories that you'd fleshed out. Tell us about your first actual gig. Then, did he help you get that? Did you do it for him? What happened there?
Yeah, no, it was his own gig called Often Funny.
Cool. Is this like in
Um,
Nottingham still, or?
yeah, he's moved it from Alfreton in Derby.
Okay. Yeah.
Now it's in Nottingham at the Running Horse.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Um, but he's joined forces with another promoter now called Rock Central Promotion.
Oh
So
right. Yeah.
check them out. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely. Will do.
Yeah.
which has also reminded me, I haven't put your links in the chat yet. Let's do that now. If you're intrigued by anything that Benny's talking about, you can find his website as well as Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube channel. There, he's got a lot of really interesting stuff on his YouTube channel as well. In fact, yeah, let's in fact, no, we'll come to that later. So, your first gig, how were you feeling before you got on? Just like after the show had started, but before your set, how was that?
I was more shaky than I am now. Put it that way. I was shitting myself.
Yeah. It's very hard to like. I think the nerves before the first gig, like I've definitely had gigs I've been more nervous for, but nothing that's like compared to that specific type of nerves. So what were you doing? 5 minutes, 10 minutes? How long was your set?
Well, he gave me 6 minutes.
6 minutes.
But I did 8 minutes.
Yeah, that often happens as well. You just completely lose track of time when you're doing it.
He's not gonna kick a cripple off stage, is he?
No, yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah, absolutely. Make the most of that. So how did that gig go? From like when you actually performed it?
It was amazing. It needed work, and
Yeah.
then the next year and a half before lockdown, I just worked my guts off. Spending most of my time on the M1.
Yeah.
As you do.
It's a lot of dedication, yeah.
Yeah, but it's good fun. I enjoy it. The thrill of making people laugh is amazing.
Oh, absolutely it is, yeah. So how, from like your first gig to say where you were at the like just before lockdown started, how do you feel your act evolved over that time? Was it kind of like the same but more polished, or did you like experiment with new directions? How was that?
Well, before the pandemic, I was just touching on paid work.
Okay, yeah.
And then
that's really good for like what, about like a year? That's incredible.
Yeah. Well, when the pandemic hit, everyone went and hid in a dark bedroom. But not my group of friends. We loved the Zoom gigs, and we were getting quite a few paid gigs.
Nice, yeah.
On Zoom. And then we was allowed out, and it's like you go from there getting paid to back down there, and it's
yeah.
This ain't fair. Where have I gone wrong?
Yeah, it's a bad time because like not only are you kind of like out of practice for doing like live gigs, but also just like a lot of the money's gone from it. So I know like a lot of gigs that like before the pandemic used to reliably pay quite well have had to like drop their fees just because they've been so long without any income, which must be really shit for someone in your kind of position who was just getting to that point before lockdown. That must be really annoying.
Yeah. It was, but I'll get back there.
Yeah, absolutely, you will. Yeah.
I'm doing it slowly. I'm closing small rooms.
That's really good. Yeah.
It just takes time.
Yeah.
And I've learned now gigging's not everything.
No, it's not.
No.
It's important, but yeah, there's definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, it does take it out of you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Particularly when you do have to travel all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, you mentioned that you got really into the Zoom gigs. What were like the main differences for you? Like, was it easily transferable, or did you kind of have to like relearn how to interpret your set in that kind of format? What was the jump like?
At first, it was nerve-wracking. No one laughed.
That's always a difficult thing about Zoom gigs. Yeah.
Yeah. but you learn from it. Well, I learned from it very quickly, and I adapt. And I was getting promoters booking me
Yeah.
other every other night, so it was good.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds it. I guess because like a lot of comedians, like myself included, kind of like swore off Zoom gigs before they even had a chance to. So I guess for the acts who were willing to do them, it must have been like you must have had like more gig offers than like you would have done otherwise. So that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah. So
Um,
basically, you did us a
yeah,
favour.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then yeah, there is some. So coming into yeah, I want to talk more about the Zoom gigs in a little bit, but I just want to see the differences between sort of gigging pre-pandemic to Zoom gigs to gigging post-pandemic. How do you feel that the live circuit and your approach to live gigging changed between like in that like year and a half gap?
Uh, well, again, because of Zoom,
Mm.
I could go out the gates very fast, and I knew my joke straight on.
Yeah,
And because of the Zoom gigs, I had to talk to audience members.
yeah, yeah.
It made my set more like,
More
hello.
conversational.
Yeah, yeah. And the impressions on my face were more like an actor now
Yeah,
than before the pandemic. I'm like, for fuck's sake, let's get through this and
yeah, yeah, yeah.
head down. But now I'm like looking at more punters and like, you're right, love.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, I've definitely noticed that as well. That's really interesting. I never really thought of that, but I guess because like you are much more limited visually over. Well, not necessarily limited, but like you've got a much more limited frame. Um, so I guess like you doing more things with your face and how you're delivering it is one of the things you kind of have to do over Zoom. So yeah, that's kind of it's amazing how much that translates. And then because yeah, like the video I watched, I think is from August or something. It was after like the main lockdowns anyway. And yeah, you're definitely
Yeah,
like a lot more animated now than that I saw from like earlier videos. So yeah, that's definitely paid off. And
yeah.
that was a 20-minute set you were doing as well. Is that the longest set you've done, or have you done longer?
Yeah, I do 20 minutes. I have just booked my 30-minute
Oh,
show
oh, nice.
at the Leicester Comedy Festival.
Oh, fantastic.
So I'm doing that with Georgie Marine.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, yeah,
Right? Yeah. So we're both disabled. So
yeah,
she's a pro. I'm a semi-pro. So
yeah, yeah.
it'd be good experience.
Yeah, absolutely
So
will be. Do you
yeah.
find like the kind of writing process for longer sets? Do you approach that in the same way that you do shorter sets, or do you have like a different method for that?
Yeah, I miss your math.
Yeah,
So I've got about an hour and a half of material
sure.
now. So
Oh, you got lots to choose
I,
from then. Yeah.
yeah, so every gig's different. I don't know what I'm gonna do until the night.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, if it's a younger crowd, I'll go more dirtier and the dating stuff. If it's an older crowd, I'll go more disabled
Yeah.
route. Yeah,
That's
so
really
yeah.
that's really fair. So like because I struggle to do live gigs unless I've like prepared broadly which bits I'm gonna do like before I get there. But it sounds like you just have all that material just kind of memorized and just kind of work with it on the night, or is it
It's never
never
memorized.
memorized? No, but
No, I've got a, where is it? I've got my book here.
Right, yeah.
And I put it on the floor
Oh, okay. So
when I do
yeah.
my set, and it's got words, wheelchair, gardening,
Yeah.
sex,
Little kind of
gift,
trigger words, yeah.
yeah.
That's really cool, but
Because
yeah.
you lot can write it on your hand.
Yeah, I was gonna
If
say
I
that might
do
be.
that, I'll give myself a black eye.
Yeah, that's true. That's still
Yeah.
pretty like to me that still seems pretty incredible. The fact that I guess it must be quite beneficial in a way because you can kind of base what material you're going to do like once you've got a vibe for the room and you don't have to kind of predict it. So I guess that I don't know. Does that help? Kind of that approach.
It does help.
Yeah.
It does help. I go to every gig now and I look around the room and I go, right, there's no disabled toilet.
Yeah.
And they're gonna fucking know about it.
That must be quite a common one
Joke.
as well. Like,
Yeah. Sorry, accessible toilet. Sorry.
yeah,
I
that's fine.
keep
No,
forgetting. Sorry.
that's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not in a position to call you out about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I've
that must be,
got quite a few friends that are non-binary,
yeah,
so it's
evens
yeah.
out. Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I forgot what I was going to ask now. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, that must be quite like how just like as an estimate, what is the ratio of like the gigs you do that do have like decent accessible toilets and accessibility to the stage, and those that don't?
Oh God.
Like,
If I do 5 gigs a week, I'll probably get 2 disabled
yeah,
toilets.
yeah,
So,
that sounds about right.
do you lot can piss wherever you
We
like?
can, yeah,
I can't. I've got a very shy bladder,
yeah, oh
and
yeah.
I need that closed room.
I did really
So
like it in the video I watched actually, because I think you opened with something like that, and then we're just saying I'll just piss on all like the seats or something.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Well, it was a hippie pub, and I'm like, I'm just gonna piss all over your veg.
That's it, yeah. Oh, fucking brilliant. Yeah, this definitely, I think definitely with like the kind of open mic circuit, especially, there's not enough accessible toilets on any of these pubs. Like, has it ever got to a point where you've had to like pull out of gigs because of like lack of accessibility, or is it kind of do you just
No.
yeah
If I'm desperate for a toilet, I will let the promoter know, look, I'm doing my fucking set and I'm fucking off. Why? Well, you ain't got a toilet for
yeah
me.
no absolutely that's yeah.
Mm,
Well, the
yeah,
fact that you even stay and do the gig is quite admirable in that case.
yeah,
But yeah, this
yeah.
it's a really big issue, especially in Manchester. There's like the amount of venues we had to look at before we could find one that had decent accessibility, and like the one we've got is okay. It's got an accessible toilet and it's got like a ramp down to the actual venue itself, but it's still like really tight. Like if you were in like a power chair, you'd really struggle to get through. And this is like one of the better ones. So yeah, it's a huge problem in Manchester, unfortunately.
I'm looking forward to that
Yeah,
gig
yeah.
because I've had to cancel another Manchester gig this month
Oh no, which one was that?
because I'm in London
Oh right,
again.
yeah.
So it's like, you got to go where the money takes you.
Yeah, yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I imagine London pays a lot more, and they've got all the money, so they. I'd assume that venues are generally more accessible in London, but I don't know. Maybe it's about the
No,
same. No, no,
they're
they're
not.
not. Okay,
No,
that's
the
a naive
same.
assumption of me. Then
So, yeah,
I can dream.
yeah.
Oh, there's loads of things I wanted to talk about, and I've completely lost track. Which what this is on already? So talked about that. Oh yeah, I want to talk a bit about because you your YouTube channel, you've got quite a lot of other non-stand-up kind of shows going on. Do you want to tell us a bit about some of them you've been doing?
Yeah, I mean, over lockdown, before the lockdown, I met a bloke called Mark
Yeah,
Nicholson.
yeah, yeah,
He does a gig in London called Laugh Able,
yeah.
which is for disabled people and mental health. And and when lockdown happened, I'm like, shit, what do we do?
Yeah.
And he said, well, I'm doing my Zoom gig online. Why don't you do a podcast showcasing disabled people? And that's how Benny Shakes Things Up happened. So we've been interviewed the likes of Lost Voice Guy,
Yeah, yeah, I saw
Joe
you got him on there. That's amazing.
Coffey,
Yeah.
Tanya Lee Davis, Aaron Simmons. Yeah, amazing. Check it out.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
absolutely do.
so my agent says, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Let's try and get some money for you to do this. And we got funding to do 8 podcasts,
Oh, that's awesome.
and we are publishing a research book next year for promoters to learn what disabled people need.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
we don't want to moan. We want to work with you,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
against you.
Yeah, no,
So
absolutely.
yeah.
That sounds like an incredible initiative. Yeah, that's really cool. And I guess like because one of the things that I've certainly the one of the things that I took from sort of Zoom gigs being like the only real way to perform for a while is just like how much less of an issue accessibility was in that sense, like because you do have, I mean, there are still issues in terms of like those who are like hard of hearing needing subtitles and that kind of thing that can be kind of
Yeah.
fiddly to work out when you're doing stuff live, but in terms of like the case of like you will be living in a place where you will have access to a toilet, you'll have all those things you need, and just like how many more people can access comedy not only as performers but also audiences over Zoom, which I think is something that we really should be applying. We should be taking
Yeah.
into actual real life gigs as well, like and also
This
carrying on the
is
Zoom ones as well because
yeah.
they are more accessible. But also like how can we make real well not real life but out of a house gigs more accessible.
Well, eventually, I would like to get some more funding
Yeah,
for me and Mark to do Laugh Able as a Zoom room for disabled people
oh, that'd be great.
and people who do not want to come to a venue but still want to watch it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, I do know a few because I think Troy Club they still live stream their gig. They perform live, but you can get tickets just to watch it over Zoom as well. And what we haven't been able to figure out a way to live stream it, but we have been recording it. And then like we streamed the recording of the show yesterday, so it's a bit after the fact, but. yeah, it's certainly a way to get out to all the kind of online audience for people who either just don't live in the country or just aren't able to get out for whatever reason.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's nice to see places doing that. I'd like to see more places doing that. So yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds absolutely wonderful. Yeah,
And
oh, go on.
the other show we started, and we've took that on the road now, called Below the Belt, which is a disability game show
Mm,
where we take comedians and give them an experience of being disabled.
that sounds fascinating. Yeah,
Yeah, because one day everyone's gonna get old or
yeah. These things will start
disabled.
mattering
So
more and more.
yeah,
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 to individuals.
so,
Obviously, they still matter now, but like, yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're taking that on the road. We're in Nottingham on the 14th of November
that's cool. Yeah.
at the New Art Exchange doing that at 1 o'clock.
That's
So
awesome. Is this the details for that on your like website and socials? And
it should be,
should be.
believe.
Well,
Not at the moment. It will
it
be
will be.
soon.
Yeah. Well,
It
all of those links
will
are
be.
in the chat if you want to go
You can
check them out.
always look at Nottingham Comedy Festival,
Yeah, I'll get a link for that
and
now.
that will be on there. Sorry, I forgot.
That's-
Cerebral palsy brain.
That's fine. Well, I'll pop a link in for that as well. Oh, there's a lot of good faces on there.
Yeah.
I've never actually been to Nottingham. I've met quite a lot of Nottingham-based comedians like over the past like year or so. I should really get down there at some point. But yeah, there's the link to the Nottingham Festival. Yeah, do go and check out Benny's show as well as all the other great shows which are on there. Yeah, I only got a glimpse of everyone's faces, but there were a lot of cool faces on there, many of whom are Blizzard favourites. So definitely go check them out. Right, that was that was really informative. I really like that. I just want to see if I've got because a few more kind of I guess quick fire questions. What are your? I mean, you kind of already touched on this, but what are your primary goals to get out of comedy?
One, to get a job.
Yeah.
Benny ain't got a job.
Yeah.
I get
Little
paid
bit.
1 day a week at the farm.
Yeah.
But that ain't gonna
No,
pay
it's not.
my fuel bill.
No, it won't. No,
So
especially now.
and, and just to make other people aware that disabled people need respect like you guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And to me, more fantastic people like you lot.
Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, that is. It sounds really corny, but that is genuinely one of the best things about comedy. Is just all the wonderful people I've met throughout it.
I've met my partner through my comedy.
Oh, that's amazing.
Life.
Yeah, absolutely. What a sentence that is. I love that.
Yeah, well, he needs more care than me.
Right, yeah.
Trust me, he does.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's absolutely like I don't know. This might be different for you because you kind of got into comedy more recently, but I've certainly found that like the influences I had when I was younger compared to like the influences I have now is pretty much entirely like I'd say about like 90% people who I've actually met and worked with are my big comedy heroes now, which is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Just I keep seeing, and the people who I wouldn't necessarily have heard of unless I went to like loads of kind of local gigs and that kind of thing. So yeah, it is genuinely really lovely. That really resonates for me. I really like that. It was such a nice answer. And okay, yep. So final question. We've kind of plugged a lot of things you've got going on already, but we'll do that again at the end. So before we do that, what advice would you give to a younger you earlier in your career?
Get on it as soon as you can. if you think you're funny, write a 5 minute set and go to your local open mic night and go, look, I want to give this a go. Can I have 5 minutes? And 9 out of 10, the promoter will go, yeah, go on
Yeah,
then. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Really, really good advice. So, how long was it? Sort of like once you'd realised that you wanted to do comedy before, like you actually got a chance to do it, just out of interest. I forgot to ask it earlier.
it took 4 years.
4 years. Fucking
Yeah,
hell, yeah.
4 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, you got there in the end, and
Yeah.
you've been absolutely skyrocketing up the circuit. So, absolutely,
No,
you've definitely not been wasting time since you started.
no.
I think you've done like more gigs than me, and I've been going for like 10 years at this point. So,
I've learned over these 2 years losing many disabled friends.
yeah,
God, I'm getting choked up now. You only live once, so take each day as it comes and fuck the rest.
absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely. That is a really kind of heartbreaking and
Yeah.
also inspiring note to leave on.
Sorry.
So no, absolutely no. It's very prominent note to leave on, and I think it is an important thing to remember, especially in these days. So yeah, thank you very much. I'll just share your links in the chat again. So here we've got Benny's website, Twitter, Instagram, where you can follow his work, as well as his YouTube, where you can find his podcasts. As well as some other videos as well. And there's the Nottingham Comedy Festival coming up. Are there any other things coming up that you want to plug?
I can't remember, but if you're on TikTok, you can look us up at 2 Crips 1 Cam.
I will get the link for that now.
I think that's what it's called.
2 Crips 1 Cam.
Yeah, I think it is.
I will find that later. I'm not finding that in a minute, but yeah, I'll find it later and share it. And yeah, obviously, if you've got anything that
2 Crips 1 Cam.
cool,
Yeah. And it's got my face and the comedy wash face, but ignoring me doesn't count.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, if you think of anything else you've got coming up, do send it over to us, and we'll happily plug that. And yeah, thank you very much for joining us. That was a really lovely chat. So we will be here for our next chat next Tuesday, I believe, the 19th, around the same time, where we're talking to Stuart Dunlop. So make a note in your diaries for that. And I will see you all. I'll see you all next week. Take care. Bye.